What's up, mages? It is I, your wintry neighborhood winter spell. I am here with a deck profile for you guys today. So, one of the games I've been playing lately that honestly I've been enjoying the crap out of is Shadowverse Evolve, which is the physical card version of the Shadowverse card game originally on mobile, which also has an anime, which unfortunately was not dubbed outside Japan. And it does have a video game on the Switch, Shadowverse Champions Battle. So Shadowverse Evolve is a little different than the online card game, but honestly, I like the changes and I think it's a lot of fun. So this is my tournament deck here, the Marines. This is a Dragoncraft deck. This is my leader, the Toshiki Kai. He is from the Cardfight Vanguard crossover. So having this leader means I can play both Vanguard and Dragoncraft cards. I'm using him because, honestly, I prefer him. And Toshiki Kai is one of my favorite characters. So he's the Dragoncraft leader I want to use. So, first off, what is Marines? Marines are a very special deck in the Dragoncraft. Which, it's weird because it's a bunch of mermaids and whales. And you'd think, okay, well, why is that in dragons? And honestly, I have no idea. I do know that I played mermaids back in the original Shadowverse as well, and they've always been powerful decks, and I've really enjoyed them. So basically what this deck is, it is a resource building deck that really takes advantage of the EX zone. So what the EX zone is in Shadowverse is you have your main zone, which has 5 slots for amulets and followers. The EX zone is 5 slots behind your field, which kind of counts as an extension of your hand. You can play cards from it, and there are certain effects that can happen through the EX zone. So let's get into this deck profile. So first up, what we're using in this deck is 3 copies of Giselle Mermaid Healer. So she is a 1-drop. She is a 1/1, 1 power, 1 toughness follower with fanfare. That means it's an enter the battlefield effect. Your leader gets +2 defense, which is life. When overflow is active for you, each other marine follower gets rush and assail. So overflow is something that is unique to Dragoncraft. It's what happens when you have 7 play orbs or more. You get 10 play orbs total in Shadowverse, and Dragoncraft often has ramp effects that allow you to reach 7 faster. And what Rush and Assail are, so Rush is taking away Summoning Sickness. Like in other games, Summoning Sickness means if I play this card, it can't attack for that turn. So Rush is Summoning Sickness. So what happens with Rush is it takes away the Summoning Sickness, but you're only allowed to attack other followers. And Assail means that this can attack a follower that's still standing up. Standing up being this position, and at rest being that position or engaged. So the next card we're going to use, we're going to see a lot of these are 3-ofs. The next card we're going to use is Bubbleborn Mermaid. I've got 3 of her. She is a 2/3 with fanfare. Your leader gets +1 defense for every marine follower on the field. So that's a possibility of 5 life just out of the box right there. So a fantastic card to keep. Next, we've got 2 copies of Tropical Mermaid, a 2/2. Up there is the cost. All of these so far have been either 2-drop or 1-drop. You will find this is a very low-cost deck, which I actually appreciate. A lot of Dragoncraft decks are pretty high cost because of their ramp capabilities, and the deck kind of plays like Green and Magic. Ramp and then play big stuff. This deck's a little different. So Tropical Mermaid has a fanfare ability as well. You notice a lot of these have fanfare abilities. Select another marine follower on the field, give it +1 power, +1 defense. If this was played from the EX area, you give +2/+2 rush and assail instead. So like I said, a lot of these cards are going to have effects that happen when played from the EX area, and a lot of other effects that place them in the EX area. This is a deck that operates very heavily on that area, and I think it's interesting. I like the play style of it. I've already placed second twice with this deck. So next we have 3 copies of Whimsical Mermaid, another 2/3 2-drop. So this has Ward. Now what is Ward? Ward means that you have to attack this first. You can't attack another follower. You can't attack me unless if I have a creature with Ward up. So to activate Ward, the creature has to be engaged. So you can either, attack with it. That's a good way to have it engaged. Or you can say, okay, at the end of the turn, I'm going to engage my Ward and pass. So this is one of our wards in the deck. There's about 3 with Ward, I believe. So it has Last Words, which is like Fanfare, but on the opposite end. This happens when this follower dies. Select a marine follower in your cemetery, not named Whimsical Mermaid, and put it in the EX area. So this is an incredibly powerful card. There's a reason this is at 3 of. 1, it's a defense card. It puts up a ward. Second, I can take anything I need in my cemetery and put it in the EX zone just ready to go. That is incredibly powerful in this deck, and honestly is a massive way to get the advantage. Next, we're going to have 3 copies of Mermaid Archer. So you may notice that this is a 0/4. That's okay. Because its ability is far more important than you being used to attack. So you can choose to engage this, and you put a marine card from your hand into the EX area, then you burn an opponent's follower equal to the number of marines on the field. So that's up to 5 damage. That's going to take out most wards, or it's going to put a severe dent in many of the big followers you're going to have to deal with. Because remember, in Shadowverse, damage is cumulative. So if I deal 5 damage to something, and if I can deal more damage before the end of the turn, that 5 damage stays. So let's say something has 7 health on it. So I'll deal 5 with this, and then all I got to do is deal 2 more to it, and it will die. But damage does reset at the end of the turn. Next is one of the bigger cards you're going to want in your EX area. So this is Shark Warrior. It's a 2-drop, 2/2. Select an enemy follower on the field, and if this card was played from the EX area, you deal it 2 damage. So this is one of the cards you're going to want to place in your EX area as often as possible. You will also pay 1 to evolve it. So there are certain cards that are able to evolve in this game. This is one of them. I'll get to the evolution deck afterwards, but this is one of the ones you definitely want to place in your EX area. Next, our last 2-drop, we have Wavecrest Angler. This is your turn 2 play. This is the one that you want to place as soon as possible. So it has a Fanfare ability as well. It's a 2/3. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put a marine card from among them in your EX area. Put the rest in the bottom of the deck. So this is part of your early game stacking. Because like I said, you want to be placing cards in the EX area pretty much from turn 1 if you can help it. But at least from turn 2 onwards. Because by like turn 4 or 5, you want to start playing things from the EX area and start doing some massive damage. So Wavecrest Angler is one of your big ways to do that. All right, we're about out of time on this video. In the next video, we're going to get into the higher drop cards of the deck and get deeper into the strategy. There's still some good stuff to come. Weirdly enough, this deck does not play a lot of spells. It is honestly mostly followers, but that's really the way this deck works. So I'm going to get right back to you in the next video, but that is the first part of the Marine deck.